All right. Whew. Give everyone a little bit to trickle in. I am very proud to say that I was exactly on time this morning, especially considering, I guess 2 weeks ago, I was a few minutes late because we were busy filming reels. And then of course last week I was away because I was feeling very, very, very unwell. I am much better now. Thank you to those who are asking if I was okay. I am good. I just had some kind of stomach bug really badly, to the point where I thought I was going to have to get my husband to take me to the ER to get like an IV of fluids because I could not keep anything down. I felt like I was dying. It was horrible, probably the worst 2 days I've had this whole year. And now I am back totally fine. I started feeling kind of crappy Monday evening, and then Tuesday morning I woke up and immediately it's funny because I texted Christine and Carrie to be like, I'm not feeling so great, I might not make it. And I texted them like probably 20 minutes later, like, absolutely not, I'm not gonna make it in. I ended up missing 2 days of work too, which was kind of sucky, but yeah. And then once I was better, you know how like sometimes when you're really low and you're like, you feel so terrible that when you start to feel normal, you feel like a superhuman. I was definitely feeling like that for the last half of last week because I had I had not left like my bedroom or bathroom, like just my ensuite. Like I was locked in my bedroom basically for 2 whole days. I did not do anything, go anywhere. And so when I finally started like feeling better, I just felt like a superhuman. And it's a great feeling to just like feel so amazing doing like the most mundane things, but it was definitely a nice plus. But anyways, thank you to everyone who was worried about me. I am much better now. I'm happy to report. So yeah, and so I was a little bit late 2 weeks ago, but today it was literally as I was hitting live, I saw the time switch from 10:59 to 11. So I'm literally perfectly on time, which I'm very excited about. So with that, we might as well get started with this week's live. So good morning, everybody. My name is Michelle. I am the size 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I typically wear a size 3X top and bottom. I wear an 18W in Judy Blues. Numerically in other brands, I'm usually around anywhere from an 18 to a 22, kind of depending on what it is. And for height reference, I am 6'1". I am very tall, so I do talk about like length, especially with jeans and stuff like that, sleeves, that kind of thing, where it fits. Actually, before I get started, sorry, just one of the cameras is just bothering. I just want to bring it down like just a scooch, just because I feel like it's not in frame with the other one. There we go. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, as is tradition with my lives, I always like to start with this morning, which is the daily drop for today, and then we move on through the rest of the week kind of in chronological order, which we will do today. I would also like to mention that at 2 p.m. today, 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, Christine and Carrie are going to be going live here on Facebook and Instagram, and they have a little bit of a announcement to make. It's a lot of really good information about some things that are going to be kind of switched around a little bit going forward. So if you are free at 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, definitely tune in again here on Facebook or Instagram Live. They will be going live to share some information. And if you're not free at that time, don't worry. It will be just like all of our other lives. It'll be archived, so you can go on to the Facebook page or the Instagram page, and it'll be posted there as well. So I don't want to give anything away because it is a little bit of like a surprise announcement, but just stay tuned at 2 p.m. to hear from Christine and Carrie for some news. So with that, let's get started with this super pretty floral dress that I'm wearing. This is from the brand Haptics. This is the Crazy For You floral dress in lavender and orange. This one's retailing for $52, sizes small through 3X, with the medium size being a 1X for this one. The material on this one is 100% polyester. It does have a little bit of stretch in the fabric, and then there is elastic in the different tiers of the dress to give it that kind of stretch and flow and structure that gives it its shape. So this one is described as being short sleeve with pockets, knee length. It's a little bit above the knee for me, of course, just because I am so tall, but it is generally like around the knee length on this one. And it is true to size, so everyone's wearing their typical size, with Christine in the small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa wears the 1X, and I am in my usual 3X for this one. This one, I would say, if you are smaller in the bust like I am, you could almost stand to size down one size. As you can see for me, like there's quite a bit of room here in the elastic. Like I could push it in, like this is where it's actually sitting, and there's quite a bit of extra room. The elastic's not coming to sit like right around my waist. This one is kind of more like an empire waistline, like it sits right under the bust line. At least that's how it's sitting for me, whereas like a baby doll kind of sits like right at the top of my rib cage. This one's just a little bit higher. But if you are bigger bust, I would say definitely stay with your true size. And then this one does have that kind of fit and flare empire type silhouette as well. We do have some pockets in this one. They're not super substantial pockets, but they are just somewhere to put your hands if you don't know what to do with them. That's my like favorite way to describe dress pockets. Good morning, Cheryl. Hello. Yeah, so we have the elastic waist here, and then we have another band of elastic under this first orange layer to kind of give it this frilled kind of tier on the bottom. And I love that it replicates. It's kind of like they just copy pasted the end of the pattern here and then copy pasted it to give another layer there. So we get that same paisley that's at the top of the dress. We get this other kind of pattern here, and then the orange at the bottom to layer it off. I love the color blocking with the solid orange because I would say that the paisley is predominantly yellow and purple with just a hint of the orange, and then that color blocking of the solid orange just really helps bring out the orange pops visually in the patterns, which I think is really pretty. This one also passes the swing and twirl test, which is one of my favorite tests to do with summer dresses. So once again, this is the Crazy For You floral dress in lavender and orange. This one's retailing for $52. Sizes small through 3X. True to size, if you are smaller in the bust, you could potentially size down, but we all did take our true sizes, even me with a smaller bust. So I would just kind of say true to size, but just something to keep in mind. Yeah, super cute. I also have, so what do we have for today's daily drop? We have 2 tops, 2 dresses, and a pair of jeans. I think I will try on the other dress, and then we'll do the jean with the 2 tops. Perfect. Oh, and this is the Haptics brand, by the way. I don't remember every time, but I am trying to remember to share the brand when I can, just because I know it's been mentioned to me many times that, and like I totally agree that for a lot of brands that fit very consistently, you can kind of say, like, if you know what the brand is, you can be like, okay, if it's this brand, like I'm probably gonna wear this size. Like for me, it's really easy for me with Judy Blue. I know that there's like a 90% chance that I'm gonna wear the 18, whereas we've been getting the new Zanana denim and the sizing is in like numbers, like 20s and 30s, not like dress sizes. And so I actually have to like, oh, I have no idea what my size is going to be in these. Or I know for like Zanana, I'm probably going to wear a 3X or a 2X, 3X if it's split sizes. Whereas something like White Birch sometimes are quite generously sized, and I can sometimes get away with a 2X or even a 1X in White Birch. So that's why I get why everyone likes knowing the brand, because there's some brands that are really consistent and you just know what works for you in that size. So here we are in the second dress. This one is also from Haptics. I will say though that compared to other similarly styled Haptics dresses, this one is a little bit more like true to size in the waist. Like I mentioned that there's quite a few Haptics dresses where they have the elastic waist in this kind of fit and flare fit, and I could almost sometimes size down to a 2X just because the elastic doesn't sit like flush against my skin. It kind of is still a little bit relaxed. This one is definitely like a true 3X. I would not size down to a 2X in this one. I would definitely stay with my 3X. So that is something I wouldn't say size up, but this one is very true to size, whereas I found with other Haptics dresses in this same kind of silhouette, I've kind of been between a 2X and a 3X. I usually still opt for my 3X, but for this one I would not opt for a 2X at all. So this is the I Hope You Dance floral dress in fuchsia. I love that song. Not much of a country fan, but that is a great song. So this one's retailing for $46, sizes small through 3X, and once again, there is a 1X as the median size for this one. So this one is a little, like I said, a little bit more fitted in the top portion compared to other similar silhouette, but still true to size. We do have this tiered effect going on. The pattern makes it a bit hard to see the second tier, but we do have the elastic under the bust, and this one's like a baby doll waist. This one's sitting like I mentioned before, the other one was more kind of like Empire, where it was like right under the bust. This one's at like kind of like my natural waist, like rib cage area. Like this is where typically you would see this. That's where we get the first elastic, and then we do have just kind of sitting, this is right at my natural hip here. We do have a second tier in the dress. I'll do the spin test because that usually makes it a little bit easier to see where the second tier is. So this one is just above the knee. It's a little bit more than just above the knee for me, but for most folks it's going to be at the knee or just above the knee. This one is a poly spandex blend, and it is like a true, the same like poly spandex jersey knit t-shirt material that we've seen for a lot of haptics dresses. It is that same really nice soft texture that the haptics t-shirt knit seems to have, which I really like. And this one, it does have pockets. These pockets are a little bit deeper than they were on the previous dress too. These ones you probably could, let's try it. I feel like my phone will fit just fine. Oh yeah, like this one, like that's in there, and like I can shake around and that's not gonna just like fall out of my pocket. So that is a really nice, more functional dress pocket. I feel like this one is a little bit deeper than a typical dress pocket, so that's really fantastic. I'll get closer so we can see the pattern up close. This is described as fuchsia, which, as I've mentioned in other lives, for the haptics, a lot of the times, like the color, because there's so many colors going on in the patterns, it's sometimes hard to choose just like one color. We usually go with like whatever the background of the pattern is, and it is definitely fuchsia on this dress, as we can see. And then we do have this kind of like leafy, almost like vine floral motif throughout, with a lot of different colors. We've got oranges, pinks, we've got this kind of like tealy aqua color in here. We've got the white for some contrast. Just really pretty. This one's definitely more of like a ditzy or delicate floral than some of the other haptics where we've been seeing the larger floral prints. So I like that we have that variety in the haptics dresses of different kinds of floral prints and colorways. Everything's quite vivid, but we have some cool tones. This one's definitely a little bit more warm toned, but it's not super warm, because as someone who, like, I'm a very like cool tone person, because it has that fuchsia background, I still find that it leans pretty neutral. Like there's a bit more warms with the oranges and the yellows, but because there's also kind of the blues and the fuchsia pink, which is like more of a blue based pink, it still leans pretty neutral, so it's going to look good on a variety of skin tones for this one. I'm gonna do one more twirl check just because that's my favorite thing to do in dresses like this. If it passes the swing test, that's always a good sign for me. I still remember when I was shopping for my wedding dress, my mom knew that I really liked a dress if I would like spin in it. She'd be like, that's how I know that's one you actually like. And she was totally right, because the one I ended up picking was the one that I couldn't stop twirling in, so that's always a good sign. Anyways, again, this is the I Hope You Dance floral dress in fuchsia. This one's retailing for $46. Size is small through 3X. True to size, I would say, even, it sounds so ridiculous to say more true to size, because it's still true to size, but with other haptics dresses, sometimes I'm kind of like, I could size down to a 2X if the 3X sold out and it would still fit great. This one is definitely a true 3X with how the elastic fits in the waist, but it is still true to size. I wouldn't say size up or anything, I'm just more true to size. Everyone else is wearing their typical size as well, with Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, and Melissa in the 1X for this one. 46 doll hairs for this one. Okay, so that's the two dresses that are launching with the launch today. We have two tops and a pair of Judy skinnies to try on, so I'm gonna go change into those bad boys and be right back. Oh, also, I'm so relieved. It was really warm in here earlier when we were doing photos, and I just felt the AC kick on, and it is a wonderful Arctic breeze. It feels like rushing over me, and I needed it. It is wonderful. I like the, usually you can definitely see there's like a theme with our daily drops. Usually it'll be like a color theme or like very floral or something like that. This daily drop makes me laugh because it's very like contrast, because we've got these really, like on one half we have these really bright, vivid floral dresses, and we've got two like dark tees and like a darker pair of jeans. So I like that we've got like the brightest pop of color and then also like black and white, which hilarious. It's what my closet looks like, honestly. There's no like muted tones. It is, there's pastels, but there's no like neutrals. It is either black or dark purple or navy, or it's like pastels and like brights. That's all there is in my wardrobe at home. I feel like no one's surprised at this point. And a lot of purple. I think we all know that at this point. Okay, so this is the Whole New World tee in black. This one's retailing for $36, and this one comes in split sizing. So this is Zanana, which I was mentioning, like Zanana, I know it's pretty much a guarantee I'm going to be a 3X or like a 2X, 3X. So this comes in small, medium, large, extra large, 1X, 2X, and 2X, 3X, and I am indeed wearing the 2X, 3X. This does have a relaxed, like borderline oversized fit. Short dolman style. Yeah, we describe it as oversized fit, and it is the kind of short dolman style sleeves. It does have this little chest pocket. It's hard to see from far away, but if I get up close, as you can see, it's got this kind of like slub type, slub, I never know how to pronounce that, patterning in the fabric. It is a little bit on the sheer side, so I mean, I just have a new colored bra on underneath, but I would recommend either wearing a tank top under it, or which I know a lot of us do that watch these lives, and myself included, put on like a bright colored Ronnie under it and like intentionally lean into it to have like something like fun popping through. That is definitely what I would do. So this one is poly rayon spandex blend. It is kind of like, it's almost like a light sweatery material. I think if I get up close, you'll be able to see that it is like a sheer sweater type material with that polyester blend. So for this one, I would definitely say like true to size to get that oversized fit. So Christine and Carrie are both in a small medium. Melissa opted for the large, extra large for this one, and then I'm in my usual 2X, 3X. I could get away with the 1X, 2X, but I really appreciate that oversized kind of slouchy vibe, so I still kept with my 2X, 3X because I wanted to make sure I still had that fun drapey length on the sides and just that really fun flow to it. If I wanted it to be a little bit less flowy and breezy, I could get away with the 1X, 2X, but I still opted to wear my usual 2X, 3X for this one. I'll do another view of the back so we can see that fun. It is a little bit longer on the sides, although a lot of that I think is just the way, because it's kind of cut like a big rectangle. So that's just the way that it hangs off the shoulders and the chest, that it gives that kind of like raised in the front and the back vibe. I really like that cut of top. We had it with there was another t-shirt that was similar to this style. I think it was like the Ocean Breeze tees or something like that, but they were similar and I really enjoyed those as well. So again, this is the Whole New World tee in black. $36 for this one, and it does come in 4 split sizes, so small, medium, large, extra large, 1X, 2X, and 2X, 3X, and we say true to size, acknowledging that it is an oversized fit. So if you want it to be a little bit less oversized, you could size down. I still opted for my 2X, 3X because I like how flowy and movementy it is. I don't think that makes sense, but that's the word I'm going with. Might as well talk about the jeans right now, just because I think this top will probably be easier to tuck in and show off compared to the next top that we have on the list. So I'm just gonna, is this a top I would typically like tuck into jeans? Absolutely not, but we're just gonna roll with it for now. Okay, so these are the Kitty Blue High Rise Dark Wash Straights, aka the Stewarts. That's actually not that much of a mouthful. Sometimes it's like a whole paragraph before we get to like the name that we called the jeans. So High Rise Dark Wash Straights. I personally would call these skinnies, but it might just be because of where the length ends on me, so I'm not 100% sure about that. These ones are retailing for...
They're definitely skinnies.
Yeah, okay.
I said that during the live yesterday too.
Okay, yeah, so Carrie just told me, she's like, I also said that during the live, so yeah, because I was like, I I would call these a skinny. I mean, on me, they're also like clearly a crop, but I think that's a me problem just because of my height. Oh, hello, Lindsay. Thank you for joining. Hello. Yeah, so these ones are available in sizes 0 through 15 and then 14W through 22W. I'm wearing my typical 18 in these. These fit. Another reason why I'm like, these have to be skinnies is they fit like a true Judy Blue skinny. I have so many pairs of Judy Blue skinnies, and as soon as I put these on, I was like, yep, these fit just like all of my other Judy Blue skinnies, which are like my most worn pants all the time. I literally have a different pair from like 3 or 4 years ago that I bought that are my favorite jeans that I wear probably at least once a week to work. They're also one of the few pairs that don't have like holes and rips and stuff in them because I love a distressed jean and I try not to wear those to work except on Fridays, and even then I only wear like slightly distressed ones. But anyways, these do definitely fit like a true Judy skinny. I am wearing my typical 18 for these, and I believe everyone else is in their true size or even size down. So Christine actually sized down to the 1. Carrie is in she wears the 7 to 9. She opted for the 7. Melissa wears her usual 14, and I am in my usual 18 for these ones. I might be able to size down to a 16, but honestly, I didn't even try them on because these just fit so perfect. I think if I were to size down to the 16, I would get just like a little bit too snug in like the waist area and some other places. So I would definitely say my 18 is my like sweet spot for this one. So this one is high rise. It does have a raw hem. As we can see on me, it is definitely like more than even just an ankle jean. These are like a full like cropped jean on me. I think I don't have the inseam, but I'm gonna guess these are like a 27, 28. They're definitely a little bit on the shorter side. And I don't think it's just me either. I'm looking at Melissa's photos here and they were a little bit short on her too, which makes sense because she's also tall. So if you are a tall girly, these are going to be definitely more crop style. And if you are petite like Christine, great news. You probably don't need to get them hemmed. So that's something I really like about skinny jeans as a tall person who has a hard time finding jeans that are long enough, is that I feel like with skinny jeans, it doesn't really matter because you can get away wearing them like an ankle jean or whatever. You just change up the type of shoe that you're wearing and it's all good. So I will show off the back. Again, they have this super distressed pocket that I'm obsessed with. I'm not one to really use the back pockets on jeans. So for me, like losing it to get this really cool distressed effect is totally worth it. I think that's so cute. And you still have one that's like functional. So you can fit it if you're a wallet in your back pocket kind of person. You can still do it on this side. Maybe you wouldn't do it on this side, but I just love this effect. I also like how drastic the fading is on the thighs and the butt area here, and then on the front thighs. I like how faded they are compared to the rest of the jean. I think it's a really cool effect. So again, these are the Stewarts, or the Judy Blue High Rise Dark Wash Straights, but I'm gonna call them skinnies because they definitely fit like skinnies. Again, these are retailing for $87, 0 through 15, and then 14W through 22W. We all either took our typical size. For Melissa and myself, or Carrie and Christine opted for the smaller of their 2 sizes. So if you are between sizes, I would definitely recommend sizing with the smaller one for these. They are pretty stretchy and generous for this fit. Super comfy. Like I said, they're like the true Judy Blue skinny, which is that amazing, like you pull them on and even off the rack, they feel like you've been wearing them for weeks, months, years. And I love that for a lot of my Judy skinnies, they still feel like that. Even like I said, the pair that I wore to the boutique today, because I am going to work after this, I've been wearing them for years now and they still fit like they did 3 or 4 years ago. Okay, sweet. We have one more top left for today's daily drop. So I'm gonna throw that guy on right now. Fun fact, this top that I am putting on right now was our top seller for the pre-launch shop yesterday during the Monday Night Live. So if you weren't aware, we started, I want to say it was a few months ago now, we started having this fun thing where we called it the pre-shop on the Monday Night Live, where during the if you're watching along with the Monday Night Live, as Carrie and Christine get through the days of the week, they will, it's only for the daily drops, not for any bonus drops or evening drops, it's only for the daily drop. as we go through the week. Christine and Carrie, when they're talking about it, they'll actually, the items will become available online on Shopify with not the entire quantity that we have, but a limited quantity will become available so you can actually purchase them early. If there's something that you're really excited about, you don't want to risk maybe waiting and having it sell out in your size before you can get to it, you can kind of pre-shop it if you're following along with the live. I've used this feature before, especially for a couple of pairs of jeans where, of course, I'm spoiled because I get to try a lot of the stuff on before and know what's coming. So then I'm like, okay, that pair of jeans that I really want, I know is going to be on this day. So I'm just going to pre-shop the Monday Night Live so that I can hopefully get it, because I don't get special privileges. I am another customer just like you guys. I don't get to like dibs or like take something before it goes live. I get the same fair shot as, you know, trying to refresh and get on at launch time and try to get like high in demand pieces just like everybody else. So I'll do that to make sure if there's something that is coming that I want, I'll make sure that I shop the Monday Night Live so that I can kind of like get in there and get early dibs on that. Good morning, Linda. Nice to see you. Hello. So yeah, so that is something, if you didn't know, that's something we do. We've been doing that for a few months now, and a lot of people absolutely love it. And like I said, this top that I'm wearing now, this was actually the #1 seller last night for shopping the pre-launch. So a lot of people were really excited about this one. This is the Midnight Bloom Floral Baby Doll Top in black. Oh, I didn't check the brand on this one. I think, is this Haptics? I think it's Haptics. That is, oh, it's P and Rose. Okay. So this one is from the brand P and Rose. This one, there we go. I accidentally tapped on something on Shopify and then I couldn't see what I was doing. So this one's retailing for $32 and it's available in sizes small through 3X, with the medium size being the 1X for this one. Everybody is wearing their typical size for this one. Oh, I lied. Carrie actually sized down to the small of this one. So Christine and Carrie are both in the small. Melissa opted for the 1X. I'm in my usual 3X. I probably could size down to a 2X and still have some room, but I really like, because this one, similar to the first dress that I had on, is a little bit more of an empire waist. Like the elastic is like right under the bust. It's not kind of like at the start of the rib cage here, is right here. So my only thing is that if I sized down to a 2X, I think this elastic would kind of sit like in the middle of my chest, which is not exactly the vibe I'm going for. So just for like the length from shoulder to rib cage area, I stuck with my 3X, and I don't feel like it's oversized in the 3X by any means, but it is just really fun and flowy and not a dress, but this one still passes the twirl test for sure. So this one is a poly spandex, your typical like t-shirt type blend. P and Rose also has a really soft polyester t-shirt blend if you've never tried any tops from them. Especially, it feels like all three of these are similar fabrics, but the white one feels like it's even a little bit softer than the others, which is kind of fun. Any chance I can try it? Let me see if it's up here. I could probably try it on. I'm gonna go see if I can find that for you. This is the 1X, isn't it? That's the large, okay. Give me 2 seconds, I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so I don't have it up here, but what I'll do, Jessica, is I am going to quickly text the girls and see if we can have someone bring one up for me, because I could definitely do that for you guys. There we go. So for me, Paige, do I feel like sorry, I guess I should read the comment because I realized that if you're on Instagram, you can't see the Facebook comments. So the question is, do you find the top scene is kind of like in an awkward place on the bust? For me, I'm going to say no. And this is someone who, I have a smaller chest for someone who wears a 3X. So for me, it's like right at the bottom, like this is like where the wire of my bra is. So for me, it's not like cutting off my bust in an awkward way. I think if I were bustier, it's possible that, you know, that would kind of sit like this, in which case it would kind of like cut off half the bust, and that's why I'm curious to try on the 2X, because I think that might happen with the 2X, but for me in my usual 3X, I don't find that it does sit in an awkward place. It is definitely different, like it's an Empire, it's not like a true like baby doll where it's down here, so it is different, but I don't think it's awkward. I don't think it's making my shape look weird or anything like that. I feel like it's still hitting at a place where it makes my chest like look like my chest, if that makes sense, but it totally makes sense, so I guess I get why you're asking that, Paige. Longer torso, so you're curious about the 2X. I am too, actually, because like the length on this one, like with the 3X is definitely, like the length is good this way, but if you're, especially if you also have that length like from like shoulder to rib cage, like because I have broad shoulders, it might make it sit differently. So I will definitely try it, Jessica, when I get it. If I don't get it by the time the live ends, I will just get it and I will post a selfie in it to the insiders group so you can see it that way. No, the tiers are not tight at all. Like as we can, like they're really pulling away, like they're fully relaxed as they are right now. Like the elastic isn't stretched at all and they're still like several inches away from my skin. So it's not like it's cinching right up. And that kind of addresses Paige's question as well. Because the elastic isn't like scooched right up tight against me, it's not giving me like an awkward bulge or anything like that. It's still just like flowing with the natural silhouette of the shirt. It's not like it's cinching right back. Like the elastic is fully relaxed. Relaxed, is that the right term? Like it's not stretched at all when it's on me, like it's fully cinched in and it's still not touching my skin. So yeah, it is like a looser elastic. It's not like the elastic is pulling it to sit right against the skin, if that makes sense. We do also have this little ruffle around the edge of the t-shirt sleeve, and then if I turn to the back, we can see that we have that same silhouette throughout the back, and then just a typical like t-shirt style back for the neck. So again, this is the Midnight Bloom Floral Baby Doll Top in black. This one's going to be retailing for $32. Size is small through 3X. We mostly wore our typical size, but Carrie did size down to the small, and I'm wearing my 3X, but I think I could wear 2X. I'm just curious about where the bust line will fit. So if/when I get that delivered, if it's before the end of the live, I'll try it on quickly, and if not, I will take a photo of me in the 2X compared to the 3X, and I'll post it on the insiders group so that we can reference that. Hello, Carolyn. Hello. Nice to see you. Okay. So with that, that is everything that we have for the daily drop today. So we had the two haptics dresses, the two tops, and then these jeans. So everything I tried on so far is going to be going live at 1 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. So in about an hour and a half, you'll be able to shop those pieces. And then for tonight, I don't have anything to try on with me, but we do have some restocks. We have restocks of the Rowan Floral Lace Vest in blush and navy. Those ones are available in sizes small through extra large. They sold out very quickly when we got them last time, so those are being restocked. And then we also have restocks of two of the Oh Snap cardigans. These are the regular length ones, not the long cardigans, so the regular kind of like hip length ones. We are restocking them in the shade Americano, which is that rich brown, and black, and those are going to be in sizes small through extra large as well. Hello, good morning, Viola. How are you? All right. So with that, and like I said, I don't have anything to try in plus for the evening drop, so we're going to move right along to Wednesday. I believe I only have one piece from the daily drop. I have a pair of jeans, and then I have a couple of tops and things from the Dex dress, or the Dex evening launch, so that is convenient. So I will put on the Wednesday daily drop jeans with the tops from the Dex evening launch, and then we'll just kind of get it all with one go. Okay. So the jeans that are launching for Wednesday are another pair of Zanana jeans. I was saying earlier that, like with Judy Blue, it's like a 90% chance that I'm going to be wearing An 18 wears with Zanana because their jeans, for a lot of them, have been coming in like numbered sizes. I actually have to try them on because I'm not used to seeing my jeans in that type of measurement. It's not very common for plus size. And to be fine with the Zanana, like some of them are pretty stretchy too. So even like within that, it's like, I have actually like no idea what size I would wear. So that's been fun. Okay. Let's start with this sweater. So this deck sweater I'm putting on, Melissa, I believe, posted a little sneaky peeky of this one in the Insiders group. And a few folks were like, oh my God, when does this sweater launch? It's beautiful. So it is this sweater, and it is on Wednesday. Okay. Okay, but I will start with the jeans just because those are first, because these are the daily drop at 1 p.m. and then the sweater will be the evening drop. So these are the Walker High Rise Skinny Jeggings Black Wash. So they are the same cut. We had the other Walker in a dark wash, but not the black wash, launch a couple of weeks ago. And then now we have them same cut in a black wash. So these are going to be retailing for $64, which is an amazing price point. I like that we describe them as jeggings, but I will say they are more jean than jegging. Like, I know that there was like a shudder thinking about back in like, what was it? Probably like 2011, when jeggings were literally like leggings that were just like printed to look like jeans or like barely jeans. These are more jean than jegging. They are very stretchy and they do fit quite fitted the way that a jegging would, but also the same way that like a 2008 skinny jean would. So that's why I say I feel like they're more jean than jegging, but jegging is still not a bad description. These ones also have actual real pockets. They don't have just like faux pretend decorative pockets. And that's true in the back as well. So there is actual full functioning pockets on these guys. These ones for the rise, I would describe them as mid-rise, but they are a little bit lower than a Judy Blue mid-rise. The biggest difference for me that I can notice is in the back. And I think the biggest thing here is that there's not a specific plus size cut for these. They are just numbered cut. And so because of that, sometimes plus size cuts will cut so that we have a little bit more coverage back here. So I do find that it is a little bit lower in the back compared to the front than what I would be used to with a Judy Blue cut, but it's not like it's back in the 2000s where everyone's, coin slots were hanging out for people to see. It's definitely not that bad. It is just a little getting used to, but like this coverage, like if I bend over, it's not like my underwear is gonna hang out or anything like that. It's just to be of note that like if when you pull them up and you're like, oh, it feels like they don't cover the back. They do, it's just not as high-waisted as something that is like a mid-rise Judy Blue. So these are available, like I said, in like numbered like waist sizing. So we have 26 through 32, which includes every inch. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and then 34, 36, and 38. I'm assuming those are kind of like the equivalents of the plus sizes. I'm wearing the 36 in these ones. So this is again why it's important to try them all on, because I just assumed like, oh, 38, like it also doesn't correlate with my actual like waist measurement at all, because my actual waist measurement is like 42 or something like that. But these, I wear the 36. There was another style of the Zanana jeans where I wore the 38, but for the Walkers in both the dark wash and in these black ones, I am wearing the 36. And they fit, I would say, very similar to how I would describe the fit of a size 18 Judy Blue. Again, like I said, except for maybe being a little bit lower in the back, but not low rise, just not as mid-rise as we are used to. Hi Lori, hello. So again, these are going to be launching for $64 for these ones, sizes 26 through 38. I'll go, I guess I should say what size everyone else wore too, just because it does vary. So Christine typically wears a 29 for these types of jeans. She's 29 in Zanana sizing. She wears the 27. Carrie typically wears a 31, she wears the 30 in these. Melissa wore the 34 in these, and I am wearing the 36 in these guys. So again, those are the Walker High Rise Skinny Jeggings that'll be launching on Wednesday, daily drop at 1 p.m. And then this sweater is, oops, I put AM, PM now. This sweater is part of the Evening Decks launch. This is the, there we go, the Isla button back crochet top in Sage. This one's retailing for $80 and is available in the full Decks size range of extra small through extra large for the straight sizes, and then X, 1X, and 2X for the plus sizes. Everyone wears pretty much their typical deck size for this, so Christine takes the extra small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa opted for the X for this one, and I'm in my usual 2X, and this one is 100% cotton. So this one has some really pretty details. Obviously it has this like very intricate kind of knit design on the front. This one is a little bit more sheer as well, so I would suggest wearing like a cami or something underneath of this one. But we do have this really gorgeous patterning with this swoop. I like this kind of like almost like doily detail. It almost kind of looks like a butterfly, not quite, but like almost. It's kind of got like an insect type pattern going on here as well. And then if we turn around, my favorite part here is that the back here looks kind of like a reverse cardigan almost. It's got these really pretty buttons that go up the back of the cardigan, which I think is pretty, and it mirrors a lot of that same pattern in the front of the sweater in the pattern on the back. It's super pretty. And those leggings, what size would I get? You wear 16. I would say, Linda, for those, because Melissa opted for the 34 and I opted for the 36, and she's usually a 14 or I'm usually an 18, I feel like it's kind of in between whether or not you would go for the 34 or the 36. I think it would depend on how tight you want them to be, because for me, the 36 is like, they're definitely like, they fit kind of like a compression legging. Like they fit like leggings on me right now. Like they definitely, like I can feel them against my skin. I can feel them move against my skin as I move. So if you want them to be that really true like jegging snug fit, I would opt for the 34. But if you want them to fit a little bit more relaxed like a jean, I would probably opt for the 36. So it just kind of depends on what your fit preference would be for that, Linda. But if you're a 16, you could go probably 34 or 36, depending if you want it to be a little more on the snug side or the loose side for those. Could I wear it with the buttons at the front? I am not. Let me try. I'm just gonna step off camera for a sec. I'm gonna just flip it around and see what it looks like. Because it is cut so similarly, I don't see why not. And the other thing too is that like the tag is in the back, but it's not like it sticks out in the front, like it's sewn in a way that you wouldn't be able to see. So I feel like the only thing that would potentially stop that would be like if the neck cuts too high. But honestly, no, I think you could absolutely wear it. I think it fits pretty much the same front and back. If you ask me, like if I turn around, the neckline looks maybe a little bit lower than it naturally would in the back, but not like obviously so. So I definitely think that you would be able to wear it with the buttons in the front as well. That was a great question, Karen. All right, so again, this is the Isla button back crochet top in Sage, or button front if you like, as we have just proven as a theory. So this one's retailing for $80, and again, this is in the full Decks size range of extra small through 2X large, and I'm wearing my typical 2X large for this one. Oh, Paige, yeah, Karen on Instagram beat you to it, but yes, we could definitely wear it backwards. As we can see, I've already thrown the button part in the front, and yeah, you could totally wear it this way too. It is a little bit higher necked compared to when it's worn like front way around, but not to the point where you would notice. And then the other thing too is that the tag is here, but it's not like it's going to stick up or anything like that. Like it's just kind of barely sewn in here, so it's not going to get in the way or like rub and be irritating or anything like that. So you definitely could. Okay, we also have a denim jacket and a dress. I think I will put them both on together. So I will go throw on that whole outfit and be right back. I'm also really glad that I'm not the only one that had that thought, because when I saw the buttons on the back, I'm like, but what if I wanted the buttons on the front? And clearly you guys also thought the same thing. I got a question on both Facebook and Instagram. So clearly we're all on the same wavelength. And then the other thing too is that the buttons are all actually functioning buttons. So to take that even a step further, you could theoretically undo all the buttons and wear it, you know, front-wise as a cardigan type thing if you wanted as well. So there's definitely possibilities with that sweater. Okay. Just trying to straighten out the belt a little bit. There we go. And I'm also going to grab the jacket. Oh, pretty. So don't do what I did. Just for the interest of time, this is like a full button dress, like it does have full functioning buttons, but to save time I was like, I'm just gonna pull it over my head. But what I also did not do is I did not like loosen up the belt before I did that, so I was trying to pull it over my shoulders and I'm like, why doesn't this want to pull? This is so tight. And I realized it's because the belt was still cinched from being on the hanger. So I undid the belt and then it was fine. So just tip, maybe you don't necessarily have to undo all the buttons on the dress, but at least undo the belt if you're gonna pull it over your head. It does make life much easier. Okay. Oh, I was like, what is happening with the collar there? It's the collar of the dress was popping over the collar of the jacket. Okay, let me start with this jacket here. So this is the Dex Quinn Eyelet Detail Jacket in Light Sage Wash. So this is like denim, it's a lighter denim, but then it also has this really stunning eyelet detail, and it is definitely on like the thin side for a denim too. It's kind of like in between a denim and like a canvas, if that makes sense. This one is retailing for $135, and this one is available in the full Dex size range of extra small through 2X. Come on, there we go. I swear, sometimes it just doesn't like the fact that I tap. It just doesn't think that my finger is alive, apparently. So this one is true to our usual Dex sizes. So Christine is in her usual extra small, Carrie's in the medium, Melissa opted for the X for this one, and then I'm in my usual Dex 2X for this one, and it is also 100% cotton for the denim on this, which is great. I will say that for myself, being tall and someone who used to wear Dex 3X quite a bit, this is one piece where I definitely, if I still had the option to size up to a 3X, I would, and for me that is entirely in the shoulders. As you can see, as I move my arms, I'm getting a bit of bunching here. I do wish that like the shoulder, it is a bit of a drop shoulder cut, so even though the seam for the shoulder is well below my shoulder, I still can kind of feel that there's not quite as much room as I'd like, and we can see that the arms kind of aren't sitting where they normally would in the back. I also find the sleeves a little bit short, but I do find that for myself, being as tall as I am, that is not uncommon. I find that a lot of Dex long sleeves are not long sleeved on me, but that is okay because with denim jackets, my instinct is either to pull up the sleeves, or what I would even do is unbutton these and do a full cuff. Sometimes I even fold it inside out and like French cuff my denim jackets. I also, I have a Levi's jacket, and I took it to the Levi's in West Edmonton Mall, and they will do alterations there on your jackets. They have like an actual like person that's like sews and will like repair stuff, and I actually had them sew the buttons on backwards so that when I fold it back, I can actually like cuff it so that it's still cuffed normally when rolled back, which was amazing. So anyways, long story short, the sleeves are a little short on me, but that is not a detriment to me because I pull up my sleeves anyways. In terms of the length of the actual body of the jacket, I'm really happy with where it sits. It's kind of hitting just below my natural hip. I really like how it's a lot more structured at the top and kind of has more of a masculine silhouette with how squared off the top of the button is, with the shoulders and everything, and being so blank and or like just like no pockets or darting or anything up here, being more masculine, and then bringing it down to be like a really feminine, pretty silhouette at the bottom with all of the eyelet details. I'll back up so we can get a better view of that. That is just absolutely stunning to have, again, on that denim. It's just a really nice pattern. I will show to you that they are reinforced with stitching, so it's not just like open holes cut in the denim, so it's not like they're gonna get all like frayed and damaged and caught on things. They are reinforced with that stitched embroidery around it. So really pretty details on this jacket. Is stunning. I think this with like a floral sundress would be incredible. So again, this is the Quinn eyelet detail jacket in light sage wash. $135 for this one, and it is available in the full Dex size range of extra small to 2X. I am in my usual 2X. I will say if this one did have a 3X option, I would size up to give myself a bit more room in the shoulders because I am very broad shouldered. This is something I've mentioned many times, but if you are not someone who deals with bolder shoulders like I do, and a 3X, the 2X should still fit just fine. Okay, let's do this dress. I'm just hanging the jacket back up. The dress, however, different story. The 2X fits beautifully. Even if there was a 3X, I would probably still wear the 2X because this fits like a glove. This literally feels like it was made for me as the mannequin in mind for the body. This fits like a dream. Everywhere I want it to hug, hugs. Everywhere I want it to drape, drapes. I feel incredible in this dress. I absolutely love the way this is cut. So this one is, where is it? The Did You Miss Me belted shirt dress in olive. This one is retailing for $100. Again, this one is in the full Dex size range of extra small through extra large, and then X, 1X, and 2X. And once again, we are all wearing our typical Dex sizes, with Christine in the small, Carrie is in the medium, Melissa's in the 1X, and I am in my usual 2X for this one. This one is 100% Tencel for this one. I feel like Tencel is not a fabric we see super frequently, but for this type of like more structured dress, I think it's a great fabric choice. I definitely think that olive is like the perfect color description as well. It's too deep and earthy to be a sage. And it's not brown enough to be like a khaki or anything like that. So olive is definitely the perfect color choice. It does have the kind of like double loop styling on the belt. And even the loops on the belt aren't just like plain circles, like the hardware even on the dress is, because Dex just pays attention to everything, are these really interesting kind of shapes where they have this like flat portion here that the loop part goes through, just to kind of stay in place a little bit more. If I can line it up, and then, oh no, I have to be able to remember how belts work. And then loop through, and so, and like just the fact that they're not just plain circles, that there's actually like a little bit of interesting like geometry going on, even just with like, that's not right. Oh no, I undid the belt and I'm not gonna be able to fix it, am I? Honestly, this is just a typical Tuesday for me. Why is my brain not remembering how belts work? I swear, I'm really smart. I have like a smart people job and everything, but just this morning is not my morning apparently. There we go. And so I like that even like just all the little details, like even like the shape of the ringlets around the belt of the dress are really pretty. We have, even under the belt, there is still an actual like sewn waist for the dress. And I like that there's these two little darts above it, and they just blend really seamlessly in when you do have the belt on, and they would also still add a little bit of shape if you were to take the belt off. I love where the buttons are done. They don't continue up any higher. This is the top button. So I do like that it's a little bit more on like, not scandalous, but I like how deep the V is where the buttons actually start. And then the buttons are full functioning and they do continue all the way down the front of the dress, and then we do stop kind of just above the knee here to give a little bit of that peaky little slit. You could also, if you wanted to, you could unbutton this fully and undo the belt, and you could wear this as like a duster type shirt dress if you wanted to. And again, I like that it has this kind of draped sleeve. If I turn around to the back, we can see it has the like dress shirt yoking in the back. It does have a really nice structured collar. It is like the perfect blend of like dress shirt, dress. It's almost giving like trench coat a little bit with the way that it's cut with the belt. Just really sophisticated. And yeah, I honestly am a little obsessed because I feel like this was literally cut for my body specifically. Thank you, Carolyn. I'm a little obsessed, especially because this type of style is very like outside of my wheelhouse. This is not the kind of thing I normally wear, but the cut is just so good on me. So again, this is the Did You Miss Me belted mini shirt dress in olive. This one is $100, size is extra small through 2X, and it is, most of us wore like pretty much our true deck sizes. Christina in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa went for the 1X, and then I'm in my usual 2X for this one. Yes, you could absolutely take the, oh yeah, of course, there it is. Thank you, Lizanne. Yeah, Melissa, you could absolutely, yeah, the belt is not sewn on. We do have belt loops, just one on either side. You could absolutely take the belt off, unbutton it, wear it as a duster, 100%. All right, that is everything for the Dex launch. So with that, I actually have, there's last few weeks, I feel like we've been kind of light in terms of the stuff throughout the other daily drops, but we actually have things for Thursday and Friday this week. So let's go on to Thursday, which is the 19th. I have a dress, a pair of jeans, and two tops, like most of the daily drop. That's fantastic. Sweet. It's gonna be a bit of a longer live for me. I realize it's almost noon and I've still got like a few things to go. It doesn't help that it took me like longer than it should have to figure out how to put a dress with a belt on, but anyways. Okay. Speaking of dresses, let's start with the dress from Thursday. This one is once again from Haptics. And the interesting thing I find about this dress is that it's very, very similarly cut to the bright like marigold romper that we launched 2 weeks ago, except like it even looks kind of like it has shorts in the front, but this one is a dress. Like it's just, it almost kind of seems like they just like didn't sew the leg parts together, but everything else about it is cut just like that romper. But I'm actually really happy about that because, as we know from 2 weeks ago, that romper did not work for me just because the way that it was cut, my torso being long and me being tall and having broad shoulders, I couldn't like turn myself in enough to pull it over my shoulders without causing damage. But because this does not have the leg issue, because it is a dress, this one fits just fine, and it actually fits super, super cute. This one I'm also very happy about too, because this one does have the eyelet button in the back, and this one was much easier to do up by myself. I know there was, even when I tried the romper on 2 weeks ago, I couldn't like, even like on the hanger, I was having a hard time getting the button undone. It might have just been that specific one, but this one, definitely not an issue. So this is the Celine bubble sleeve floral dress in navy. So once again, this is from the brand Haptics. This one is retailing for $64 and is available in sizes small through 3X, with the median size being a 1X for this one. This one fits true to size. It does have an elasticized waist. This one is not as stretchy as some of the other ones, but I do also find that this one fits like fairly true to size. Like there is a little bit of a stretch to the elastic, and it's relaxed all the way, but this one does sit on my waist when it is fully down. Thank you, Melissa. I really like the cut. I like that it's kind of like, it looks like the t-shirt's like tucked in, but it's not. If that makes sense, because it's not a t-shirt, it's a dress. So this one is 100% polyester. This one is not t-shirt material. This one feels a little bit more, I'm trying to think of a way to describe it, because it's a little bit heavier than just like the blousey material, but it's also not just like a knitted t-shirt material. It's, I can't really think of a good comparison of other stuff that we've had to describe it, but it definitely, I would say it is more like a thicker like dress shirt material, if that makes sense for this one. This one does have pockets, but these are similar to the first dress that I tried on. These ones are kind of more just somewhere to put your hands pockets, as opposed to like, I'm actually going to put my phone and my keys in here pockets, but still pockets nonetheless. And then it is called the bubble sleeve dress, as we can see, because it does have this little elastic on the inside, and so it gives this kind of like poofed effect where the sleeve is folding in on itself instead of having like an actual like terminated edge here. And I am happy to say something that I've found with earlier pieces this year from Haptix, where sometimes because I am someone with bigger upper arms that they were a little bit tight. This one, not at all. This one, there is a ton of stretch and room. I don't feel restricted in the sleeve at all. You could have forearms, I guess not forearms, this is your forearm, upper arms substantially bigger than mine, and you're still going to have a lot of room. So if that's something you've been concerned about with Haptix pieces with like elastic in the sleeves or bubble sleeves or something, this one, not an issue. This one is totally comfortable. Like, I didn't even realize there was elastic in the sleeves until I learned the description and was like, oh, bubble sleeve, oh, there is something in there. So these one, like this one for larger arms, definitely passes the fit test. Fantastic there. I just keep doing this because this one, I'll do the fit. This one absolutely passes the twirl check. I think this is the twirliest one yet, just because it has these pleats in it almost, where it has like this extra bit of fabric. So it is still cut like an A-line shape, and then it does have these pleats sewn in to give it even more flutter and floof. And I am a sucker for a pleated skirt. I wear pleated things all the time. And then if I turn around to the back, you can see it does have kind of that like bodysuit shape up at top too. And there is that keyhole opening here in the back. But you don't have to worry about trying to undo it every time you have to go to the bathroom like a bodysuit, which is definitely a win for this one. I also really like the pattern on this one. I think we've had a similar, if not the same floral pattern on a jersey knit dress, but it's nice to see it on something a little bit different. I am really glad that Haptix had a design like this, because I was really upset that that romper didn't work for me, because I loved the fit of it so much. And so I'm really happy I can get the same silhouette without having to worry about the bodysuit issue of me being so tall. So I'm very thrilled about this one. So again, this is the Celine bubble sleeve floral dress in navy, sizes small through 3X, and everyone is wearing their typical size in this one. So Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, Melissa in the 1X, and I'm in my typical 3X for this one. All right. I should go a little bit faster because it's 1 p.m. and I still have a few more things, but we will do what we can. Okay, so I have 2 tops and a pair of jeans, so I will switch into those and be right back. Yes, so I have, for Thursday, we've got 2 tops and a jean, and then for Friday, we've got a top and a jean, and then for Friday evening, we actually have these gorgeous, gorgeous dresses, so I definitely need to put a move on. Okay, start with this top. I love these little like sweater vests that we've been getting. This is the Janessa short sleeve top in light blue and lavender. This one is retailing for $46 and is available in sizes small through 3X, with the medium size being a 1X large for this one. I think this is Haptix. I forgot to look before I put it on. Yes, Haptix. So everyone's wearing their true size in this one. So Melissa is in the 1X, Carrie in the medium, Christine in the small, and myself in the 3X. This one is a poly rayon spandex blend. It is like a lightweight sweater material. This is similar to one of the ones that we launched last week. Right, Abby? I love this one. I love this, like, it's very 90s for sure. This like square, like almost sweater vest, but still kind of a sleeve cut, and then especially with this color palette and the stripes, it's definitely giving like Jonathan Taylor Thomas vibes. Like, not that he'd wear it, but someone who was into Jonathan Taylor Thomas, aka me, at the time would have worn it. So here it is from the back. I love that with this length that you can totally wear this, just it's super cute on its own like this, but you could also style this with like a short sleeve collared shirt, with a long sleeve collared shirt in the fall or winter, layered underneath of it, even just with like a normal t-shirt layered underneath of it. I feel like that's giving like Fresh Prince if you layered like a t-shirt, like a white t-shirt under it. So there's definitely ways to play with this, but in the summer you can also just kind of wear it as is, as a fun little silhouette top. So again, this is the Janessa short sleeve top in light blue and lavender. $46 for this one, sizes small through 3X. We're all wearing our typical sizes. It is a little bit on the relaxed size, or relaxed fit, but I wouldn't say it's oversized, and I would still purchase true to size for this guy. Okay, and then for the jeans, these are the Chads, otherwise known as the Judy Blue high-rise trouser straight fits. So these are what I consider a straight fit. Those skinny jeans we tried out earlier that were called straights. This is what I think when I think a straight fit. So these ones are retailing for $103. These ones are also available in sizes 0 through 15 and then 14W through 22W. I am wearing my typical 18 in these ones. I will say these ones are maybe a little bit more snug in the waist, but not to the point where I would size up to the 20, just because everywhere else fits so perfect on me. And it looks like everyone else also took their typical size. So Christine in the 3, Carrie's in her usual 9, Melissa's in her usual 14, and I'm in my usual 18 for this one. Yeah, so these ones, they are also a pretty good length. They're not described as longs, and like they're not quite long enough on me, but they're pretty close. Like these, I would say there's probably like a 31.5 to a 32-inch inseam, which is really nice because if they are like a trouser style, typically something like that you are going to wear with something with a little bit of a heel on it potentially, whether it's like a heeled loafer or something like that. So I feel like having that little bit of extra length is going to be really helpful for most people. And because it is a straight cut and not a flare or something like that, if you did need to get them hemmed, you're not going to be losing any of that like shape of them because they are straight fit. And because they also have that extra, it's kind of hard to see from here, but they do have a little bit of a thicker stitching around the hem. I think that's what gives a lot of that like trouser effect, because it does have that tailored edge at the actual bottom of the jean. Something I think is unexpected for something that is cut like a trouser is that we have some distressing just on the toonie pocket, as I call it, and then just a tiny bit of distressing on this pocket here, the tiniest on the corner of this back pocket, and then this back pocket does not have any. Usually if you're thinking trouser style, you know, you usually see it in like dark denim, no kind of variation in the wash, dark denim with the classic like yellowy stitching. So having something that is more of like a less casual cut, but with casual elements like a little bit of whiskering and fading and just the minor bit of distressing, but not enough to be like fully distressed, is really interesting to see. And I think that's kind of a fun choice that Judy Blue made for this pair of jeans. I like it. So again, these are the Chads. I don't know why I said it like that. AKA the high-rise trouser straight fit jeans. $103 again for these ones, sizes 0 through 15 and then 14W through 22. And we all wear our typical Judy Blue sizes for this one. I would say they fit very true to Judy Blue sizing. And then I have a Sally short sleeve tee in light gray. Oh, I see that if you're still here, Jessica, I think Carrie must have snuck in while I was busy yapping. But I do have the 2X in the pea and rose top, so I'll throw that on at the end for everybody to see. But I will finish my last 2 pieces before I do that, just for time. Okay, so again, this is another piece for the Thursday daily drop at 1 p.m. This is the Sally short sleeve tee in light gray. This one's retailing for $29, fantastic price point. Sizes small through 3X for this one. I forgot to check the brand. I think it's Zanana, but it might be Pea and Rose. This one is Zanana. I love this light gray color because it's like, it's off-white, but usually when we think of off-whites, we think of it in warm tones like ivory, but this one is like very cool toned, and it's not like a crew or taupe, like it's gray, but it's like off-white, off-gray. I don't know, I really like it. So $29, extra small through 3X with both an extra large and a 1X for this one, which I like. Everyone wore their true size. Melissa opted for the 1X as opposed to the extra large for this one. Christine in the small, Carrie in the medium, and I am in my typical 3X for this one. This one does have a lot of really nice length and flow to it. It's interesting because it's both a relaxed fit and not. I would say like from here down, it is a relaxed fit because it is really nice and flowy. We have a lot of length. As we can see, it's long in both the front and the back. It's almost giving me full booty coverage, and that's with my super long 6'1" torso. So for most folks, it's gonna give lots and lots of coverage. We do have the scalloping on the side, but the reason I wouldn't just immediately describe it as relaxed fit is because from here up, in the shoulders, the sleeves, the bust, it is a little bit more fitted, and that's actually what I really like about this, because I feel like that makes it even more versatile, because you can get away with styling it ways that you would style something more relaxed fit, untucked, or you can kind of like tuck it in and get more of that flowy vibe, or you could do what I really like doing, which especially for like tees that are more relaxed like this, is you can do the whole twist and tie type thing, but instead of having it be like really baggy up top, it's going to be more fitted up here, so it's giving more like crop top vibes, if that makes sense. So I really like that it is so fitted in the top. I also love the sleeve length on this one because it is a little bit of a longer t-shirt sleeve, which I actually really appreciate in the summer, because sometimes like when you're like sweaty here and it's kind of like rubbing, it can kind of irritating. So just having a little bit more coverage on the upper arm, as someone who does have larger upper arms, is appreciated occasionally. So again, this is the, oh, I feel like I'm losing my voice a bit, probably because I didn't do all my yapping at you guys last week when I was sick. But anyways, this is the Sally short sleeve tee in light gray. $29 for this one, sizes small through 3X. True to size, we all wore our typical sizes for this one, which means myself in my usual 3X. Okay, sweet. Moving on to Friday, where I have a top and a pair of jeans. Friday is also my Corky's birthday. He will be 5. Not that that affects anyone here except for my mom maybe, but yes. Okay, so I have a baby doll top and another pair of Judy's for Friday. Just got like a little mini jean graveyard over here. Usually during my lives, I mean, you guys can't see my clothing rack off screen, but most of the time I'm pretty good for, like I'll hang things back up as soon as I'm finished wearing them. But sometimes for the interest of time, if I have like a whole bunch of pants to try on, I'll just like kick them off and leave them like out of the way. And then I hang them all back up when I'm done. That is definitely what is happening today. So again, there's a little bit of a jean graveyard happening next to my rack here. They are out of harm's way though. I don't want you to think that I'm just like kicking stuff and like treating it terribly. It is out of harm's way. It's just, you know, not immediately back on the hanger, but it will be when I'm done. Okay. So a reminder, now this is the Friday daily drop that I'm trying. This is another Haptics top and another pair of Judy Blues. So this top is the Sugar Blossom floral top, floral baby doll top specifically, in ivory. Again, once again, doesn't exactly read ivory with this many things, but we always kind of name after the background color, which is definitely ivory in this case. This one's retailing for $49, sizes small through 3X, with the median size being a 1X, and this one fits true to size. Everyone's wearing their typical size for this one, except that Melissa did opt down to the large as opposed to the 1X for this one. I think if there was an extra large available, that likely would have been her choice, but she did opt for the large in this one. I am still in my typical 3X. This is kind of similar to the first dress, or sorry, the second dress I mentioned, where I'm a 3X, but like sometimes I could size down to a 2X or a 3X, it kind of depends. This is definitely one of those cases where there is an elastic waist, but the elastic, even when it's like fully relaxed, is still not like snug around my waist. So I could theoretically size down to a 2X, but I stuck with my 3X because I'm really happy with the width of the shoulders because I am broad shouldered, and I think if I were to size down to a 2X, I would end up losing a little bit of that width in the shoulders. So I'm definitely still happy with my usual 3X for this one. So this one is the typical poly spandex blend jersey knit like t-shirt material from Haptics, that same really nice soft touch to it. I'm so used to dresses having pockets that I'm like, oh, this must have pockets. No, it is a t-shirt. It is not gonna have pockets usually. I mean, there is the odd time where a shirt will have pockets, but not this one. So this one is a full flutter sleeve. As we can see, it kind of just goes around the opening of the sleeve here, and we do have the full flutteriness. This one has more of like a fern, and I can never think of like what the like tall stalk flowers are called, but kind of like those shapes of flowers and more like ferns and foliage as opposed to like super flowery flowers on this one. And then we have these teals, this fuchsia, this orange, this kind of like petrol blue color that's really pretty in this one, a little bit of yellow, and then the true baby doll shape. So this one is not empire waist, like here's where my bra wires are, and then it's another like 1.5 inches top of my rib cage, kind of natural waist is where the baby doll elastic is hitting on this one. And then if I rotate it around, you can see that that's kind of the level that the elastic is hitting at for the entire piece. And then in the back, it does just have kind of like your typical t-shirt kind of cut neckline in the back. I have to rewatch it. What size did you take in the yellow orange dress? The one at the very beginning, I wore my 3X for that one, and I needed the 3X for that one. I wouldn't have sized down. So like true to size. So for you, Abby, I would definitely say the 2X would be, I'm sure, perfect for you. I mean, I know you've been taking 1X occasionally now too because you've been losing weight, but I think that you've got enough chest that in that first dress, you'd probably still want to go with the 2X just to make sure that, you know, the girls aren't suffocating, if that makes sense. But I still wore my typical 3X for that one, Abby. All right, so again, this is the Sugar Blossom Floral Baby Doll Top in Ivory, $49 for this one, sizes small through 3X, and most of us are wearing our true size, but Melissa did opt down to the large. I could theoretically size down to the 2X, but I opted to keep my 3X for the width in the shoulders for this one. And then the jeans, this is Zach. That was the name of my first dog that I remember. He was named after the Black Power Ranger because he was our favorite. Yeah, no problem, Abby. So these are the Zach's, aka the mid-rise vintage wash boot cut destroyed jeans. I will attempt to tuck these in a little bit just because these jeans, that's the thing with a baby doll, like I don't have a lot. I usually try to like plan it so that I have tops that'll make it easy for me to like tie up or tuck in. A baby doll is neither easy to tie up nor tuck in, but we're gonna do what we can. Would I style this outfit like this? Absolutely not. But we make do with what we have in the moment. We are resourceful. So again, these are the Zach's. These ones are retailing for $97 and they are available in sizes 1 through 15 and then 14W through 22W. Everyone is bringing their typical Judy sizes in these. So Christine in the 3, Carrie is in the 9, Melissa's in her usual 14, and I am in my 18 for these. Definitely like a true boot cut. These ones are pretty like typical in length. I'm gonna guess these are like a 30-ish in lengthwise, so they're a little bit too short on me to be a boot cut, but for most books they are going to be a good length. They are this really nice like light medium wash. We have a little bit of whiskering in the front here. Like the last pair, just a little bit of distressing on the tootie pocket, as I call it, and on this pocket as well. It is not a raw hem on these, it is a finished hem, but there is a little bit of distressing kind of pre-done along the finished cuff of these jeans to give it that distressed vibe. And then there's a little bit of distressing on the back pockets and kind of just above. So just minor physical distressing on these jeans. And then we do get a little bit of the whiskering happening on these ones as well. And in terms of rise, I would definitely describe these as a true mid-rise jean as well. So again, these are the Judy Blue mid-rise vintage wash boot cut destroyed jeans. I don't know if I'd go so far as to call them destroyed, but they're definitely a little bit distressed. And these are the Zach's. So again, $97, sizes 1 through 15, and then 14W through 22W. And we are all wearing our typical Judy sizes, which includes myself in the 20. And now that's everything I have for Friday daily drop. We do have these gorgeous sundresses for Friday evening, but because I have jeans on conveniently right now, I'm just gonna quickly throw on the top from the beginning of the live that I have in the 2X now that we talked about. This is the Midnight Blossom Floral Baby Doll, the one that has the like handkerchief kind of pattern. This one, again, was our top seller during the Monday Night Live pre-sale. So this one is definitely going to be a popular one. And this one is launching today at 1 p.m., so in less than an hour. So that's why I want to make sure I try on the 2X so you guys can make that thing. I hope Jessica's still here. If not, I'll have to tag her and say, hey, I did try it on. So this is the 2X on me. And I do find with the 2X, like here's that seam, my bra, like the underwire of my, well, this isn't an underwire bra, but if it were, it'd be right here. So I do find for myself that the 2X, like the elastic hits at a slightly unnatural spot. So I would personally, for myself, I would still size up to the 3X. That being said, other than where this elastic hits, everything else about the 2X does fit really nicely. I still have lots of room in the shoulders. The length is actually feels pretty much the same. There's still lots of flow and volume. So again, other than, as if I turn to the side, you can kind of see like where the shape of my breast is. We can see there's still like the white is like up here instead of like down here. So it's maybe a little bit high, but I don't know if it necessarily looks awkward or anything like that. I think it's just that we're so used to like baby doll tanks that start here that it's just a little bit of a different shape. But if that's something that like, if you don't want the elastic to start there, if you want it to start under the bust, I would definitely, Jessica, go, if you're between sizes, I would say go for the larger one for that. But in terms of literally every other aspect of this top, I actually prefer the 2X. Size on myself. So I could definitely go either way. I just wish that this seam was maybe like a tiny bit lower, but everything else I actually prefer about the 2X for this one. Fair enough, Abby. That is one of those things too where, and especially because you do have a larger chest than me, that it can be like, and because you're shorter, it's one of those things where it's not always flattering on everybody. But this one is really cute. I do really like this pattern. I am happy to say we have something else coming. Is it next week? If it's the like that paisley like handkerchief pattern, I do have a sneak peek for another top that's coming sometime next week. That is in that same, it's not exactly the same, but it is that same like vibe, I feel like. So that's a fun little sneaky peek that kind of gives the same vibe if you ask me. But anyways, I just wanted to make sure I showed that off because someone did bring it to me. And yeah, the 2X definitely fits me. And like I said, I prefer the fit. I just wish that maybe this seam was like a tiny bit lower, but everything else about it, I actually prefer the fit of the 2X personally. Okay, I have been yapping for so long, so we're so close to the end. We only have Friday night's launch to go. We have these gorgeous, gorgeous dresses to try on. So let me throw those on, add another sacrifice to my jean graveyard over here. So this dress is from a brand that I don't know if we've ever had anything from them before. They're new to me. I don't recognize the name, but I mean, I don't always remember all that kind of stuff. So just because I can't remember the name doesn't mean we haven't had them before, but it's not one we've had recently at least. But the brand is called Blue Pepper. It's B-L-U, no E on the end, is Blue Pepper. Oh, I've got another little eyelet button keyhole thing in the back I need to do, but once again, at least with this dress, this is a little keyhole button that's easy enough to do by yourself. And again, because it's a dress, it's not like you're going to have to do it 800 times by yourself to go to the bathroom. I made that mistake a couple weeks ago at work. I have this really gorgeous, like knee-length jumper bodysuit that I bought. That's like a ribbed material. I think I bought it at Torrid, and it is super cute. Definitely have to like undo everything though to go to the bathroom, and I had a lot of coffee that day because I was busy working on reporting and I needed the caffeine. And yeah, so I had to go to the bathroom and like undress myself, and you get pretty much like naked. And in the work bathroom, it feels a little bit weirder than other places. I don't know why, but it did, so it is what it is. Anyways, before I show off the other colors, I'll at least show off this one. So again, this is going to be the Friday evening launch, so Friday at 8 p.m. This is the Twilight Skies tiered midi dress. The color that I'm wearing here, this is the shade Champagne. Champagne? Sorry, I always think, I used to watch a lot of Futurama as a kid, and it's so funny because my dad would always pretend, oh, that show's just awful, but then he'd sit there and like watch it with me and laugh the whole time. I'd be, oh, that Futurama show is terrible, and then he'd watch it more than I did. But just the way there's the Zap Brannigan would always be like, Champagne, and that's whenever I read that word, that's how my brain like reads it. But anyways, this is the Champagne color for the tiered midi dress. This one's gonna be retailing for $46, and there are 4 colors available. Unfortunately, only the Champagne is available in plus, so all of the colors are available in sizes small, medium, large. And then we also get 1X, 2X, and a 3X in the Champagne color. So this is the only one that's plus. This is the only one that I can try on for you guys, unfortunately. But I mean, at least we're getting something in plus. There's so many times when I'll see gorgeous dresses and be like, oh, I want that, but it only comes small, medium, large. So at least we get one of the colors. It's something. So this one is true to size. Like I wear a 3X and I'm definitely like a true 3X. I would not size down in this at all. It is the smocked top. There is still a lot of stretch around the waist, but then it does come to settle right snug against my waist. It's not digging in by any means, but it's not like some of the haptic ones where even when it's relaxed, it's like off the skin. It is definitely settling to sit right against my skin, but not tightly so, if that makes sense. So we do have the smocked top up here. And then this one, it is a little bit on the sheer side, but as you can see, I was going to pull this up and I realized you can definitely see without it. We do have a lining underneath. The lining is not the full length of the dress, but it is long enough to cover all the parts that need to be covered. And I kind of like that. I like the effect of like when there's like a sheerness and like my tattoos kind of poke through the sheerness. I think that's a really cool effect. And then if I turn around to the back, you can see that the smock neck continues all the way back, and then there is that keyhole that I mentioned there, but because it is on that stretchy smock material and it has a nice stretchy, I love when the loop itself is elastic. That makes life so much easier. So it is easy enough to do this eyelet up by yourself. I feel like the neck opening is small enough that I probably wouldn't just leave it unbuttoned. I don't think my big old brain's gonna fit through there, but just as I know, like especially if you don't have someone in your house with you that can like do something up for you, that's something that I like, is if I can at least like take care of getting myself dressed in the morning as a 30-something-year-old adult. It is definitely something I should be able to do by now. Yeah, so this one does have the smock top, and then we do have the different tiers in the dress. We have one here that sits right at my natural hip, and then we have another one that's kind of mid-thigh here, just above where the slip ends, and then it flows down. This one, not as twisty and flowy because it is, despite having like the ruffles, it's more of like a sheath cut as opposed to like an A-line, but still twisty, just maybe not as twisty as some of the other dresses in terms of spinning, but doing the actual like hand twist, this one definitely excels at that. So again, this is the Champagne color, and they're going to be retailing for $46. And then we also have the 3 colors that come small, medium, large. I'm very jealous, honestly, of the pink ones. We have this blue, which is this really gorgeous, like deep cornflower blue. This is described as dusty blue. We have the dusty fuchsia, which is definitely the one that I would purchase if it was available in plus size, but is small, medium, large. And then we have the olive green as well. So all 4 colors available in small, medium, large, and then 1X, 2X, 3X is available in the Champagne color. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to lose my voice a little bit. Not only has it been, 2 weeks since I last saw everyone, but also this is the first time we've had an hour-and-a-half long live in a while, because we've been having like a few weeks where Tuesday was full and then it was just kind of trickling through, but we actually had a lot of stuff throughout this week. We're starting to see more plus size stuff coming in, which is great. Great for me, great for everyone else. I know that I'm definitely not in a place where I need to be buying more clothes, but it's definitely not stopping me because we have so much cute stuff buying in. And because I have lost enough weight since last year that a lot of my summer stuff is a little bit too big now. So it's definitely good timing on that end for me. But anyways, Once again, my name, I don't know why I'm looking at this as I'm about to introduce myself. I don't need to look here what my name is. I should hopefully know that by now. Anyways, my name is Michelle. I am the 3X model here at Lavender and Lace Boutique. I go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time, and I try on all of the plus size pieces that are launching throughout the week, or any pieces, even if they aren't like explicitly labeled as plus size, that still work for someone in a plus size body. I will try them on just to show everyone, just because it's so much easier to buy clothes when you see what they look like on real normal people and not the model that is like the perfect size in the like studio photos that are professionally taken and edited. No, I am just a normal person. I'm going back to my day job after this, so I know that's always why I've loved shopping with Lavender and Lace. I know that's why a lot of you guys shop with us too. Also, just a quick reminder that Christine and Carrie will be going live at 2 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so in an hour and a half, to make an announcement. I can't give any spoilers away about what it is, but they will be going live on both Facebook and Instagram here to share some news. There's a lot of good information there, so tune in if you can at 2 p.m. And if you cannot tune in at 2 p.m., that is totally okay, because just like all of our lives, it will be available, posted on the Facebook and Instagram to watch afterwards. So with all of that, I will finally let you go. Thank you for listening to me yap for an hour and a half. You guys are the best. Once again, my name is Michelle, and I will see all of you guys next Tuesday. Bye-bye.